Hey, everybody. This is Ben Smith. So I think you are going to just love meeting Shane Howard. Shane Howard is a 19-year-old entrepreneur who generates well into six figures in revenue annually through Instagram. That's right. This kid is making a ton of money on Instagram. He has a couple of million followers on his properties, and he shares a network of over 250 million active social media users on Instagram alone. That's crazy. So today we wanted to meet Shane. We want to hear how he did it, especially as a 19-year-old kid. Like, what's the game like today in 2018? So he walks us through how he did it, and then he tells us all about how he would blow up in 2018 and 2019. What are the tricks of the trade? He gives us some incredible little tidbits on how we can succeed through social media. So I think you're going to find this fascinating. I cannot believe that kids today, like they're just so smart on this. And Shane, he just lives this. He embodies it. So if you want to better understand the real game that's going on in social media, listen up because Shane is the real deal. All right, so I cannot believe it. We have brought the crew back together, plus one today. Who do we have? Who do we have? I believe we have none other than
Shane Howard.
Shane Howard. What's up, man?
Not much yourself?
I'm doing all right. And of course, Amar Thompson is back in the house.
Mic check 1 2.
How did the show go on Friday, Amar? We have to check in
The
with
show
you
was
on that.
amazing. Definitely one to remember. Was like I would say like a coming together of a bunch of moments and getting to actually see like something tangible and feel something from like an accomplishment. So
LA is Russ crazy.
yes, clearly it's his biggest city for sure as far as fan base.
What did he say about it after the show?
Just in awe.
Really?
Yeah,
Like legit.
legitimate awe. It's one of those things. Like I used to live like across the street from Staples, and Russ was over a bunch, and so we used to literally could see Staples from the balcony. So to be able to, a few years later go there and sell it out is quite the mind fuck.
That's unbelievable.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, it was definitely special.
All right, so why don't we get into this? I'm really glad to have Shane on the show because Shane is like one of these young prodigies, one of these young phenoms. Just moved to LA from Boston.
Yep.
Why did you move here?
I mean, it's all because of business.
Well, like what does that mean?
Like, all my clients are out here. The art company that I'm involved in is based out of here. And it's actually funny how I moved out here. Just my roommate that I'm rooming with now is, I met him. He works for the art company. He's our videographer. And basically, I've never met him in my life. Didn't even know who he was. Come out here NBA All-Star Weekend in February and hang out with him for a week straight. Go back to Boston for a week and a half. Move out here that next weekend after that week and a half. And I move in with him.
Wow.
And this random
whirlwind.
And this random girl from Tinder. Yeah, so
That's the 19.
What do we call that, JD? Is there a word for that?
paying rent.
Right. It's a more simple term, but 2018, man, you can do things you never did before.
Do you know Elliot?
Dunk?
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember he came out for
All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend at the same time.
That was my first time meeting him face to face.
Really?
Yeah, and then do you know Busta?
No, who's Busta?
Busta's a good friend of Elliot's as well, but he also does basketball. He owns a couple pages, Hoops Nation and stuff like that. And I met him face to face alongside Elliot.
It's so funny because I was actually talking to JD earlier about how you guys are like, there's a network of you guys, like the growth, social growth.
My man, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Smack, people like everyone, like there's a whole group of kids my age doing this stuff, which is very interesting.
So tell the people what you do. Actually, I want you to describe in your words, so we can start to dive in.
So basically, I handle social growth for companies, individuals, and just about anyone who needs it. And what that means is on Instagram, most people want followers or need followers for whether it's business or just to start a business, whether it's for their personal brand. And basically, I go around and I get people followers, all real, all legit, rather than all this fake bullshit that everyone else uses. Where like half these people who want to show their lifestyle are buying fake likes, fake views, fake everything, and they just fake their whole social life. But what I'm doing, I'm actually bringing legit followers to them by using my network of pages, which is it's probably around 250 million, 200 million around there, and it's basically a bunch of you have meme pages, sport pages, luxury pages, all different theme pages, and basically I just have people post shoutouts on there, and rather than paying, say you're gonna pay $100 for one post on a page, rather than paying that $100 for a post, pay me 150 and I'll get you 1,000 followers guaranteed. Where that one post isn't guaranteeing you shit. That one post can get you 100 followers, 2 followers even if your content isn't right. And basically, I'm out here guaranteeing X amount of followers for X amount of money, which is very rare in this kind of game. And to be doing it legitimately is even more rare, it seems.
So you're like the unicorn. You're like one of these rare breeds online. Like you're the real deal.
The plug.
The plug,
That's how I like
right?
to describe myself.
You're 19 years old.
Yes.
This brought you from Boston to LA. You have a long client list. Can you tell us who you're working for? You probably can't.
I
right?
can't really because
No.
a lot of people don't like to have it be known that they're using social growth. But I've been doing this since I was 13 on Vine, and I moved my way to Instagram.
He will be working for Click.
Yeah, of course. Shout out Click.
Give us
We
some.
got 19 for life too. So we stay on that
Oh, look
19.
at that.
We stay on 19.
Put that back
forever.
up. Put that back up.
I got this one too. I just got this one the other day. The day after I met you.
Really?
Yeah. So I like to go thighs and everything.
Those are still some Boston legs, though. We need
Of
to turn
course.
these into some LA
I'm white.
legs.
I'm white as hell.
Yeah.
That shit don't change because I'm in my room working on my phone rather than going out. Yeah.
Or a tan.
Yep. Exactly.
So give the people some of your numbers. I mean, your number just for you personally, they're crazy.
So basically, it's just like anything else where the less you buy, the more expensive it is. The more you buy, the least expensive it is. So if people are going to ask me for 100,000 followers, I typically charge 12,500 for that. And if people are looking for 10,000 followers, I'll charge 1,750 for that. So and then here's what, like a lot of marketing companies come to me, and I pitch to them this way: buy the 100,000 follower campaign promo, split it up amongst 10 different clients of yours, all 10K each. You're spending $120 per K, basically $125 per K, rather than buying the 10K promo for each one and spending $175 per K.
I mean,
Smart.
yeah, this is like the state of the game, right? Like, I feel like if you watch people like Gary online and you watch other people, like there's this thought that organic audience, and this is organic audience, but this idea that organic audience somehow is more noble than some of the stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, what you're doing is just the name of the game.
Of course. And another thing is just like everyone overlooks Instagram these days, in my opinion, where like no one is out here taking the time to DM these people. No one. Like you can DM, say you get followers, you can DM anyone and almost anyone will respond.
100% agree with that.
And like my roommate DM'd 50 companies, didn't have a single person lined up. He moved out here, he DM'd Iconic, which is the art company, and he DM'd them. We were the first one to answer him back and actually give him an opportunity. And he just basically offered free work for video. Or he offered just for pieces. Like we gave him 2 pieces of art, he went out and shot photos for us. And he's proving his value, which not enough people do out here. No one is showing. Everyone's coming out here to take value. No one's coming out here to give value, which is just like the real bosses in life are giving, and never taking. When an opportunity comes your way, you want to reflect that onto someone else and not use it for yourself. That way, you're always owed these favors, but you owe no one else anything.
You sure you're 19, bro?
Of course.
Exactly.
That's who you surround yourself with.
Exactly. What's your roommate's name to get him some
Shout out Austin Cox,
Austin?
the homie.
Plug number 2.
Yeah. He was gonna come today, but he He films for Iconic, and they had a podcast to do at 10.
Too many podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit about Iconic for those who may not know?
So Iconic's an art company that basically has a shit ton of prints. Anything you're looking for, we have, and basically it's all graphically done on the computer through Photoshop, printed onto canvases, different sizes, different thicknesses, different wrapped, and it comes straight to your door, and it's beautiful, fresh out the box. You had no complaints. Best art in the world.
Okay, so I've briefly heard about it a little bit through, can't even remember. I think somebody might have sent me a link about it.
If you go on the website, you're getting effed. Your ads. There's gonna be ads on Pornhub. There's gonna be ads everywhere you go, for Iconic.
So, like, what is the attractive thing about the business right now that's got its name ringing out there? Like, break down to me, what do you think people are going crazy about Iconic for? What's the niche about it?
Then I mean, I think our fan base and our like market is just like everyone who's doing business, all these entrepreneurs, because a lot of our canvases are kind of like that mindset where it's just like we have one that says the early bird gets the Lambo, and it's surrounded about
Fire.
yeah, exactly, it's fire, and it's surrounded about people doing business, grinding your ass off, not taking like all these people are expecting shit where nothing is going to get given to you without you get working for it, you know what I mean? So basically it's a bunch of messages, and it's a way to wake up in the morning, look at your walls and see a powerful message, but in a creative way. Whether it's through actual art or typography, whatever you want to see, we have all that, and it's a way to empower you and start your morning with a good message.
How did you get involved with Iconic? Was it something where you met Cole and them, or was it you already knew them and you guys started this together from scratch?
So I'm a co-founder in it,
Fire.
and we actually so Mark, who's owns majority, alongside Jeff, they own majority, and Mark manages a kid named Timmy Sneaks, who's a big artist, beautiful art. He does all hand painted, very expensive, very high class market. Mark saw the market, basically everyone who emailed him about Timmy would email them, and then as soon as they saw the price, you'd never hear from them again. 99% of people. So he basically saw the opening in the market where price point art is wanted.
Right.
Everyone wanted that fair price that they can get cheap art for and still have it look amazing. So he went ahead, came up with this idea alongside his roommate Cole, who's Jeff, and Jeff does all the art. All the art is done by Jeff, and Mark does all the business side of things. But they came up with the concept. They come to me. I've never even met Jeff, don't forget. So just me and Mark know each other.
Till this day?
No. So for 6 months in.
Oh wow, I was about to say.
But still, 6 months in, you're
That's a
able to
long
start
time,
you're
yeah.
able to start a company that's actually running, and it's just
Yeah.
But so Mark comes to me with the idea. They basically offer me sweat equity, which is I work for that rather than investing in it. Like a lot of that's how equity typically, like most people think of it. It's just like, okay, you pay to be a part of something.
Right.
But in my case, I worked for it, and instead of paying, I promote it through Instagram the same way that I do other people's ads.
Right.
And we basically started the brand that way, and we weren't doing shit ton of sales at this point, but we were doing good enough numbers where we saw potential. And then when we took it to Facebook ads and targeted ads, like more targeted, then that's when it really blew up. That's when the numbers started to change the game. It's just like, this is going from a side hustle to a main hustle.
Right.
And that's just about how I started really for that.
Fire.
How did you and Amar connect back in the day?
Instagram, wasn't it? We just met recently, but we had spoken before, I believe.
Through someone from
Through
Instagram.
Exactly, through someone. So me on my a never-ending hunt to find more growth hackers, I stumbled on Smack, who I think his real name is Sean.
Yes.
Yeah, and we spoke for a little bit. I was actually supposed to fly to Boston to meet you guys. I think that was supposed to happen. Never happened though. But I spoke with Shane, and instantly, once again, I just knew another super talented, super intelligent kid, and really in tune with what's going on. So we
Yeah,
just connected from
how you got started at 13?
I started at 13, 14-ish.
So what were you doing when you started?
Vine.
And like, what does that mean? So tell people what that means.
Like I just basically started finding out how Vine works, the business side of things, the growth side of things, and turning that into a business where now people need, even if they need original content, I was on that. Anything that there is money in, I was on that on Vine.
Aren't most kids like playing with like Transformers at
I
13?
was just about to go there. Like, I think you are making that sound a little too simple. Like, give me a little background. Like,
Yeah,
you
give
had
us the
to have-
mindset.
You had to have a business mindset. Like, were you influenced by a parent, or like, what was this about?
So actually, no, my dad's a construction worker. My dad is Central AC for a living, and he just works. He's been with his company for 32 years, 33 years, and then my mom,
Honorable.
of course, and then my mom just kind of just goes job to job, just does whatever, and and then me, I just kind of stumbled upon Vine. I saw these sport pages. I started doing sports videos. I found an iTunes card in my room. Went on Vine, found someone who's accepting iTunes as payment because a lot of them are little kids, so it's just like everyone wants iTunes. So I paid them in iTunes for like one Revine, like $15 for a Revine. And that grew me like, that didn't grow me shit, but at the end of the day, it got my video like 500 likes to 1,000 likes. Mind blown by that. Never seen anything like it for me. And then it just kind of like fed into my interest in it. And then I developed a friendship with these kids who had a page called Hitstick, around like 300,000 followers on Vine. And basically, I offered to be kind of like a manager in somewhat of a way where instead of paying them, I went out and found them clients to buy Revines, and clients is a loose term because it's just little kids buying Revines
Right.
typically.
Right.
So I went out and found them people to buy Revines, and every time that I found someone for X amount of money, then I would get a Revine from them.
Mm.
So
You worked for Revines.
exactly, and I worked for growth, and basically I grew a page, lost it, got scammed because I'm a little 13, 14-year-old kid not knowing what I'm doing, and then I dip into just money in my bank account. I probably like $400 to my name, and it's just like I mean, I dipped into my bank account, went to CVS right down the street from me because I live in a very small town, and it's just I went to CVS, bought I think it was $250 to $50 to $200 PayPal gift card because I didn't even have a PayPal account at this time, and it was a prepaid one. I gave it to someone. They grew my account like 50,000 followers. It's cheap on Vine because Vine you can't monetize that easily, and I basically then started revining for revining, which is just like if I have 50,000 and you have 70,000, you revine me, I revine you. We both grow off of each other's followings, and that's kind of how I started there. And then I made a bunch of money there. By a bunch, I mean like I probably made like 10,000, but like 10,000 is good at that age.
10,000 is
That's-
amazing.
you're rich.
at
Of course.
15.
Yeah, you're rich at that point. But so what it sounds like to me is like there was a culture amongst your generation where this was going on.
Of
already,
course.
like, this whole Revine, let me grow following. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm 27 years old. We were on Facebook. Well, at 13, we were on MySpace.
Really?
All of this.
Oh
didn't
yeah, I
exist.
forget about that.
Like, just until probably learning through Amar and then talking to you the other day, I'm now just learning about the growth hacking culture. Like
Yeah.
somebody like me that's
E-
involved with sports, I don't know anything about that. It's crazy.
There's a whole different world out there.
Yeah, even on Instagram right now, people do the follow for follow and things like that. But I think also like in 2015, 2016, it got to a point where a lot of artists became aware of this and decided to go the social way as opposed to like the traditional music avenues for like getting your stuff out there. People that figured out that they could grow a social following. So like what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But they could grow a social following first, like get the audience first, and then deliver a product, then deliver music or a brand or whatever it may be. Even with like Little Pump blew up on Instagram for the dumb shit he was saying. Like they asked him how long would it take you to go 60 miles if you're going 60 miles an hour, and he just couldn't get it. You remember that
Yeah.
clip? And this went viral. So
that's amazing.
this was happening for like a year or so before you ever heard a Little Pump song.
Of course.
So I think people figured that out, and like labels figured it out now. And like there's just a whole bunch of like it's a whole underground industry that's like going on that people don't really know about, but it's super lucrative. And I think it's the future of marketing. Like I think this is the new age commercial.
So based on what you just described, you think it like started to bubble about 2 to 3 years ago?
Yeah, now it's
really 6 years ago when it was like kind of
being created.
Yeah.
I got you.
And like to your point, it's just like look at 6ix9ine right now. Honestly,
100%.
he's fucking killing this shit.
100%.
I don't necessarily know if it's him or if he has a marketing team behind him, but you go to the comment sections and he's being a complete asshole, but it gets him that clout, it gets him that following.
Definitely.
But
And-
there's to your point, there's an engine underneath 6ix9ine, and that's what our audience, what I'm trying to convey to them is that you look at these things and you think that they just are on their own merit, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they just for whatever
Happen.
reason have an audience. It's like, no, it takes people like you. It takes that thought, that hard work, and there's secrets to
Yeah.
that. And you're one of the main guys out there at this moment, 19 years old, playing this game.
Definitely.
There's people in both the film industries and like YouTube and stuff, and also the rap game, it's just like music industry, where they're actually taking a completely different route, which is interesting, or have taken a completely different route to get where they are. They buy pages or they grow pages, like theme pages, like sports, comedy, stuff like that,
Rap, yeah.
and then they use those resources to grow their following, grow their like David Dobrik. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah.
So he's a huge influencer. He has 9 million subs, like 5 million Instagram followers. Crazy. He was on Vine when I was on Vine, and he had a fan page. But I don't know, maybe it was like a Family Guy fan page or something like that. And he basically used that to grow his following on Vine, which is where he originated from. And it's very interesting to see that people are taking a different route. People are starting to use it for their personal gain rather than just like a business side thing, which was the only way that I was looking at it from the time. So
Because
it's,
you could be like you and then like be the business aspect of it,
Yeah.
but then you can also get it to the point where you're a celebrity version of
Yeah.
yourself. Like
you
you're
are the
you-
business at that
exactly.
point.
One question I have is, do you think people were able to convert their followings from like to get them to travel from Vine to Instagram, or were they getting a following on Vine and then starting from scratch on Instagram?
No, you could definitely get a following from Vine, whether or not it was super powerful. So the thing that I think about Vine was just like they fell off, and the thing that made it Vine very hard to monetize, no direct links. So there was no link in bio. You can have a link in your bio, but that link's not taking you anywhere. You have to type that in somewhere else.
Right.
So that's the one thing that makes it harder for Vine to convert, was the fact that you actually had to have your followers actually go and search you.
Right.
So if you had a fan base, then you're having no problem at least starting on Instagram or starting on YouTube.
Right.
But if you're having like a weak following, then it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
And so I know you probably can't name names, but this is happening with some of the most popular channels, celebrities,
Yep.
film, TV, everything we see today. They're probably working with you or someone just like you. Would you say that's fair?
I'd say a lot of them are. Like
What percentage would you break it down to?
I couldn't even say percent. I just like I know that I've worked with some of the top realtors, some of like the most controversial names in music, athletes, everything that like I looked at as a little kid, like, oh my god, like imagine being this person's friend, imagine doing this. It's just like I work with these people and now it's a different thing. It's just like that's cool. Like I'm not gonna fan out over seeing a celebrity now. It's just
Right.
like I'm gonna look at that as a business opportunity. If I see a celebrity walking down the street that's not popping,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that chance. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take that leap, and I'm gonna try and.
Get them popping.
Amar, all
Exactly.
we had was Saved by the Bell.
Right.
Nah, I'm playing.
No.
I'm playing.
Say about it.
But-
So what I'm really interested in hearing today in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the game. Like, what's the state of the game today?
So, before I get into that, I just want to say, I read this book this year, Third Door. One of the best books, only book I've ever read. But let's be honest, it's gonna be one of the best books I've ever read. And it's just like, it talks about how at a nightclub, and this goes into your point or your question. It's just like it talks about a nightclub, for example. Almost majority of the people are going to wait in that line to get into that nightclub, whether it's just standing there waiting your turn. The other group of people will wait in the VIP line, and that's celebrities, that's billionaires, that's millionaires, people who can basically cheat their way in. The third door is basically the people who can't get in, but find a way in. So that goes for clients as well. So if you want to get a client, you gotta do what it takes to get in front of them. Like basically, like me and my friend went out to eat the other day, and he read the book too.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in, it's just like 40-minute wait time. Almost every single person on earth will take that 40-minute wait time and wait those 40 minutes. The people who don't wait those 40 minutes are the boss mindset, where it's just like, I don't have time for this
to
shit.
waste. Yeah.
So let me go back in there and try and convince them. We went back in there, we got a table right away. 40-minute wait time, there's people waiting right behind us.
Yeah. That right there is like some of the breaking the fourth wall stuff that me and my friends talk about is there's like social, I don't know the terms paradigms, but social constructs and structures that people fall in order to. But if you happen to be like an outlier and have an outlier mentality, you can literally break through all sorts of like lines, but like not even just literal lines,
Yep.
but like all sorts of like social barriers at any time, because so many people are afraid to walk up to the celebrity and ask the question, or so many people are afraid to put their whatever it is they need in the forefront of whatever, like getting into a restaurant or just being out of line when everyone is in line. And I think that helps with certain type. First, it takes a certain type of personality, but it helps you gain ground faster than waiting in line, in the figurative line, not like a literal line. But you gain ground faster by taking that leap in many different avenues, and that's something that just probably part of the reason why you are where you are today.
Yeah, and that's
because
frankly
the
why
personality.
we actually call this whole brand chance bending, right? Like that.
Yeah.
This
That
is
the way
exactly what we're
to
talking about.
increase your chance, 100%.
You want to put yourself in awkward situations.
Yeah.
Like my roommate taught me. He's 19 as well. My roommate taught me basically every single place that I go, ask for 10% off. No one asks for it, and it's not necessarily like a great thing to ask. Like some people feel embarrassed about asking it,
Yeah.
but it's just like putting yourself in that awkward situation. I tell you that probably 75% of people say yes, no matter where you are.
Yeah. And as soon as you put yourself in that arc situation, you now open the possibilities for whatever to come.
Exactly.
If you don't ask for that 10% off, you're never getting it.
And
But
it's,
if you do ask for it, you could get 10% off, you can get 5% off, you can get a job at the place. Like you
Yeah.
never know. You never know how it goes. But once you insert yourself into that like potential of possibilities to happen, you are now in it.
Yep.
So anything can come from it. So that it's just,
You know,
you're on that shit.
A wise man once applied that logic to dealing with women as well. They can only say no.
Exactly.
And if you don't speak, they can't. They are saying it's an instant now.
the worst thing is the unknown.
Yes.
If you don't, the worst thing is just going into some place being like, oh, I wish I said this.
Mm-hmm.
No, the easiest thing that you want to be able to deal with is regretting saying something rather than regretting not saying something. You know the outcome if you said it, but you don't know the outcome if you didn't.
100% agree.
Yeah, so we're seeing this right now. We're applying this, with JD. We have athletes. We work with guys like Alonzo Trier who are figuring out how to apply these principles to the NBA. We're working with talented entrepreneurs like you, Amar, who's figuring out how to apply that to both music and to social media and to platforms. Now we're learning from you, and we're learning that this is actually an art and a skill, and that you are like a maestro at age 19 of applying these skills to platforms. So I gotta ask again, what's the state of the game? I really want because my audience, now that we have them all riled up, right? They're drooling. They're like, man, I want to bend chance. I want to use these ideas. Like, describe the state of the game in 2018-19 right now. Like, what are you thinking about? What's hot right now? How's it changing? We don't want to give them, the 2016.
Of course.
We want to give them the 2019.
So every single day Instagram is changing, for example. So that's funny that you say that don't give them the 2016, because 2016 doesn't mean shit now. Nothing is the same. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So actually now it's just like you want as many comments as you can in the first 10 minutes. You want as many likes as you can in the first 10 minutes. That's why you often see people go live on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they're posting, you'll see them actually live stream while they post, and they'll live stream for the first 10 minutes, try and get X amount of comments. And what that does right there is that beats the algorithm. That'll put you at the top of the feed. It'll make your content get more attention.
Visibility, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, then you'll get pushed onto the explore page, which is when you gain that new following. You gain all these things that you didn't have before.
Real quick, just to chime in to give a little gaffle that I learned through someone like Shane. Instagram's algorithm, as it is currently, which is why you're speaking about the first
Yep.
10 minutes, whatever you post goes to 10% of your following, which is different as of 2016. Your shit would go pretty much to
100,
most of your
yeah.
following. Yeah. Now the way Instagram has it set up is whatever you post only goes to the first 10%, and based on its performance in that first 10 minutes, hence people going live for the first 10 minutes, they then push it to another 10% of your following. So basically, based on its performance, whether it's comments, likes, whatever, it gets pushed further and further through a bigger percentage of your following. So that's definitely a major hack that I learned just a couple months ago.
Yep.
About.
Can y'all explain to me why they would do that? Like, what's the logic behind
It makes you have to pay for that.
Exactly.
Because if I can reach my 30,000 followers by myself, what I don't need as Instagram as much
You
to
don't need to
get
spend
that
money
reach.
on it.
Yeah, I don't need to spend money on it. But if I can only reach 3,000 of my 30,000, I need to get to the other 27,000.
So what do you mean pay? What does that mean?
They have ads.
Yeah.
So you can pay. You can
You can
for your
promote a post.
Yeah, promote a post. You can pay for your post to get more visibility.
Remember, you're talking to a non-Instagram.
Right.
I
Yeah.
looked at your Instagram. Last time it was like January something.
Yeah.
No, but this is solid, right? Like this, our audience needs to hear this. I mean, I do think we have a more experienced audience than usual, but they still need to hear. You guys are pros at what you do. You two especially, and so just these basic concepts are really, really important. I mean, I'm blown away. Like thinking about how to use live with the post in 2019, like that seems fresh to me.
Definitely.
And like another thing, so if you have an interest, so have you ever seen the guy on World Star who does like the violin and like twerking girls?
Yes.
He actually said, which I completely agree with, but it might not be everyone's like go to. Basically, take something that you're good at and put it with something that does not make sense.
Yes.
It'll get people talking. He's good at violining. Twerking is not a part of violining
at all.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like,
Remember I sent you this
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
today?
Yes.
And it's just like, it gets people talking.
Definitely.
Supreme Patty, look at him. He's killing the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing it. Everything he does just doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Like
And that's
squirting
how-
lemons in your eyes? Like, who's going to do that?
What is that? Yeah, but definitely it's like even with the Takashi thing, it's once you do get the visibility, it's about delivering something that's going to keep them looking.
Yep.
Because a bunch of people are paying for this type of service or whatever, but it's not working for everyone because not everyone has a product or a brand that's going to
Or
stick.
mindset.
Or a
even.
mindset's going to stick. Yeah, but if you can get that visibility and then you also have a product, a brand or whatever that's sticky and you're creative about the way you're going about getting that out, whether it's funny stuff like what he's talking about, but just jarring images like Takashi has rainbow colored hair
Yeah.
and it has rainbow colored teeth and it's such a jarring image at that level of visibility, people are going to keep looking. And that's what people are learning is how to manipulate not just the platform, but to manipulate the user's experience, like the viewer's experience to get
The content side of
content
things.
side of it to get them to stay.
How do you get started? If you're sitting here, you're listening, you're like, man, I'm feeling this, but man, I have a long way to go. Like, how do you get started in this game intelligently right now?
Post often, post good content. Don't do quantity. Don't do quantity and like there's a lot of people doing quantity, but those people who are doing quantity are allowed to do quantity because they're at the top.
Exactly.
Like
Snoop Dogg, for instance.
exactly.
If you follow Snoop Dogg, his Instagram is lit and it's not even a lot of the posts don't even have
It's just
him in it. It's
memes.
just memes. It's just, but you can't do that with 1,000 followers because no one will you'll lose followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like another thing is just like DMs again, it's just powerful. Like you can DM a lot of people and say one person responds out of 100. That one person could be a life changer for you. That one person
100%.
can put you on.
So describe when you say DM someone, just explain a little bit more about what that means.
Offer value.
So what would you say, for
Like,
instance? Just
if-
I
Of
understand
course.
what you mean,
No,
but I
of
just want to
course,
make
I
sure
understand.
they're clear.
So like if you're a videographer, DM 100 people or 100 companies offering videography or photography to those people and if you want to be an influencer, DM 100 people who are looking for people. A lot of people who vlog don't want to hold the camera and vlog. They want to have someone hold it and follow them around. No one wants to pay for that shit.
Mhm.
Content creators don't cut the checks.
Mm-hmm.
So basically offer that shit for free. Go out and grind, bro. Like it's just like really go out there and DM these people and just say, hey, I'm willing to do this for free. Here's my work. My work is hyper shit. Russ said, I went to the Russ concert on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He said he said, no one in this room knows me. No one in this room owes me anything. I've just been working my ass off and thinking I'm the greatest since I was 2.
Yep.
And it's true. You have to fucking, confidence is key. Talk yourself up. Even if you're in the mindset, don't fake it. Never fake it. But if you're in the mindset where like you can learn anything, if you're a videographer, tell them you can do it. And then once they book you, start learning that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to go above and beyond everyone else, because too many people will be like, oh, I don't know how to do that right now. They're not willing to go and learn and put in those hours, like put in 10 hours to learn something just to be able to shoot this video.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think with which also leads to the chance spending thing, but like before, like I've been in a situation when I was trying to play college basketball, I didn't have any offers out of high school, so I had to go to prep school. But I would literally cold call. I had to cold call every coach, assistant coach of the D1 schools I wanted to go to, and I would call them and send them messages, leave messages, send highlights and all that type of stuff. Eventually, it got to UCF. But my point is that in today's day and age with Instagram, there's no such thing as a cold call. Yes, you may not know someone and you can DM them or whatever, but the fact that they can go to your Instagram and sort of get a feel of who you are and what you do is not necessarily that cold. Like people like Shane, even though he didn't DM me directly, but people like him have DM'd me just offering services off the rip for cheap or for free or whatever. And because I can vet it relatively quickly by just going to Instagram and seeing, you actually have a good shot at getting someone's attention,
man.
which is
So cool.
Before you had no shot.
Yeah, you're
just
going
talking
off
to a
words,
wall. Exactly.
but now you're going off a portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can see it. And there's actually, do you know a kid named Harry Rez?
Harry Rez?
Yeah, he's at The Plug on Instagram.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay, but anyways, they have this thing called New Wave Media or whatever, and I looked. He DM'd me, talking once again, offering his services to me, and then I go to his website, and his pitch deck is on his website. So it's like, this is ideal for me because I don't have to say, hey, email me your pitch, but it's just in today's day and age now, if you want to be like, if you're hustling from scratch, you can sort of present yourself in a way where I don't have to take you for face value or word value. I can sort of look into your portfolio and have a much more.
But what you said to me that really sticks with me is like, man, I'm sort of blown away by what you did to get to UCF.
Oh yeah.
Right. Which was like, you had a battery but we talk a lot about this, Jordan and I, like you have a system and it's methodical and you did it over and over and over and over again. And that's what Shane's describing too. Right. And having that ability, that discipline, that sounds so important.
I think it's a difference maker,
so important.
for sure. And for me, funny story is, so I went to IMG Academy, the prep year.
Of course.
And they made us do it as far as like, if you want to get a scholarship, you're going to have to sort of earn it or whatever. So I was calling these schools, and UCF is actually the second school I called, but I ended up calling like all 300 whatever D1 schools. And I didn't hear back from UCF until the very end of the season, but it was just funny that the second school I called, even though I went on to call a couple hundred more, was the one I eventually went to. But just to speak to the fact that you just have to keep digging and prodding
and coincidentally, the Jordans were part of your team.
Yes.
You made all of these incredible connections, but
Yes.
all of that is just really coming from the hard work of like
100%.
actually contacting people.
100%.
Yeah.
And getting 99.9% of the time no response whatsoever.
Yep. Thinking that most people will be like, oh, I wasted my time.
Yeah.
No, you spent your time in a good place.
100%.
Put that energy into the world.
Yep.
100%. And it's better than it's better than inactivity. You know what I'm saying? It's better than not doing anything.
And when you feel like you're doing something, you can think about Shane, who says he has 250 million followers on various pages.
Like worth of pages in my network.
So
I don't own a single one. Just like Facebook doesn't own any of their
Of course.
pages. It's like that.
but just imagine how much work went into stuff like that.
Establishing.
Exactly.
Right?
And another thing for Instagram is just like talk to everyone. I want people to walk down the street, go up to people and say, hi, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. If you see someone in a nice car, don't just be like, oh, wow, that's a nice car. I would love to be able to afford that one day. Go up to that car, knock on the window, ask them for a ride, go into it, like whatever you have to do. I'm not saying get arrested, obviously, but there's been times where my roommate even walked up to this guy in a drop top Rolls Royce ask him to hop in. Guy's just like, sure, where do you want to go? And
Once
it's just
again,
like
the
third door.
Third door, putting yourself in allowing. He could have got shut down. He
Exactly.
could have got spit at, whatever. But like, it could have went
got
wrong.
shot.
And that person-
you open yourself to the opportunities, and you never know what's behind that door.
Exactly, and like you never know who knows what and what everyone does. Where everyone knows someone. Everyone knows someone. At the end of the day, whether they know it or not, they know someone.
Remember we were
6
talking
degrees
about that the other
separation.
day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like talk to everyone because eventually you'll find that one person that's going to change your life. Find a mentor, find someone who can help point you in the right direction. And no matter where you are, you're always going to want a mentor.
I think the theme of the conversation right now, I think you said it, put yourself in awkward situations.
Most definitely.
Go outside that comfort zone.
Yep.
So Shane, tell people where to find you, how they can look you up, because I know people are gonna want to do some business with you. Give the people what they want.
So you can find me on Instagram, and it's just show off. SHOWOFF. Easy as can be. And yeah, I mean, just DM me. I answer every DM because it's just like, again, I like to keep my fan base good. And I also, you never know what someone is DMing you about. If it's just a hi, that hi can turn into $1 million brand deal later on. You never know.
No, once again, Elliot, for instance, someone who DM'd me randomly, and I had no idea who he was,
Yep.
but you ended up being super valuable to stuff we've done.
Yeah,
So,
I've had
fantastic.
multiple clients this year from Instagram, and Instagram's not even a huge part of what I've been really doing this year.
And
So.
it just shows.
What did we miss? We miss anything?
Not for me.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this was so good. I feel like I learned a lot today, man. I gotta be honest.
I
Yeah.
just want to say thank you for having me too.
Oh, of course.
Thanks for having me as well. Once
You gotta,
again,
you gotta talk about what you started though.
Which-
your podcast. What's
Oh, of
Oh
course.
yeah,
So-
tell us.
So me and my roommate have a brand called 19-year-olds, and it's basically it's at 19 on Instagram, and basically we have a podcast as well, and it's just basically about being young, being stupid, having a boss mindset where it's just like get shit done. So it's not being lazy. It's not just going into debt on college. Not any of this. It's completely different. And so it's boss mindset, being young, living in LA, just like growing up as a kid, everything that like people can relate to basically for the most part. Whether you can't relate to the business side of thing, you can relate to the growing up side of thing.
definitely.
And like it's definitely interesting. We have an apartment tour coming. It's just we just got Galaga, we got Asteroids, like the actual
Get
games,
outta here.
like the actual games. We got cornhole. We turfed our deck. We got everything.
Yeah, I'm
So-
coming on 19
Of course, you can come over tonight.
I really do, because I really want to also talk about what I was doing at 19,
Yeah.
so you can see
I'm
how far
excited.
ahead you are of the game, bro. It's important because I talk to a lot of kids like you, like Alan and all these other kids,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes you guys don't realize how far ahead of your peers you are. You're light years ahead of them, and knowing that and understanding that will help you moving forward.
I appreciate
Because
that.
a lot of people your age are still just living. Life is just happening to them,
Yeah.
and you guys are making life happen. It's two different things. So
Most-
it's super important that you're aware of it.
Most kids my age are going to parties every
Yeah.
single night, looking for a reason to get effed up.
Bro, we'll talk later.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is chance betting. I mean, this is what it is. So thank you
I
all.
got one closing question. I've
Oh.
been thinking about it. In your expert opinion of the Instagram game, give me your top 3 Instagrams right now that you like. All right, they know what they're doing.
They're like, I like people or
People, businesses, just like which ones are like,
You have respect.
yeah, like.
so I
if you're
got
asking me a basketball guy, LeBron, KD.
okay.
That's
So-
doing it.
I got respect for Danny Duncan. I don't know if any of you guys know who he is.
Mhm.
So he actually does amazing content, 900K, but yeah, his engagement is 132K.
Yeah.
So he has legit engagement, very good, and it's
What's
fun.
his content about?
It's comedic. He does vlogs, everything. He actually lives like 3 buildings down from me, so I'm actually very friendly. Or I'm friendly with him.
Are you part of the Vine crowd? Like you, Hollywood? Not that
No.
whole thing.
No.
No. All right. Good.
No, I don't like that.
All right.
That's all stupid content,
All right. Good.
and I'll say that confidently.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
I respect Cole, my partner, because he puts out only the best shoe art, which
I fuck with Cole as well. Super smart.
that's
super
his
intelligent.
content. He basically takes, like, say it's a pair of Jordans that just comes out. He'll take those Jordans and he'll morph it into Dory. He'll morph it into. He just did one for Stan Lee because he just passed away.
yeah.
He did all of the.
How do you spell that
Marvel.
for people?
Cole.
Beautiful.
Simple. We like to keep it simple out here. And of course, no other than confidence is everything. So I'm gonna go with myself.
My God.
Yeah.
So it's
Guys,
just like I put time and I put money into all my content and I get no money out of it. I've gotten brand deals offered, but I turn them all down because it's just like I want my fan base to be set first.
Boy knows what he's doing.
So
Man,
yeah,
to be 19.
shout out all those people.
All right, guys. Till then, man, thank you all.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Peace.